Hello everybody and welcome to the finals of the Qualification Round 1 for the Ultimate Team Tournament 2. After playing an amazing semi-finals earlier, taking down both Devem and Lovenest. Playing as the UKF, we have Seeking Guy and his partner today as the Soviets' creative name.
And on the east flank, we have the legendary 2v2 team, Scotch and Nagano. Both playing mixed axis here with quite the meta loadout from the last time I've been playing this game, 2v2s, and just watching this tournament. Top tier players here. Just if you ask me from the beginning of the announcement of a tournament who would be in the finals, I would put these guys in there without even a second guess.
Absolutely. The team kind of referred to as Gold Path 2, that's their kind of official team name when it's used. They've been the top, if not the winners of nearly every 2v2 tournament. It'd be crazy not to put some kind of money on them in a betting situation. They are absolutely ferocious, but they have been contested in this event, and it was something that I was really surprised by, actually, the skill levels that we saw from Brosras and Artivik when they played. It showed that there are 2v2 teams that are really at that level of Gold Path 2, who really just normally set the bar for everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of underrated teams, and clearly we see that here in Creative Name and Seeking. They've been super consistent. Back couple months ago when Ciaz and I were playing a bit of 2v2s and just also watching people play 2v2s, these guys have always been at the top of the leaderboard, just grinding games out, obviously preparing for this tournament, which Kirahi's put together. So you can never ride these people out. Just a couple engagements in mid here. One of these Tommy squads are not helping out their buddies, and they're gonna get flanked here. Yeah, this is a good engagement for the Axis. Easy cover, outnumbered.
Wow, and the Seeking Guy with one model there, trying to retreat that as quick as he can. Of course, Creative Name, he's tried to go for the fuel on the right-hand side. And actually, I just wanted to point something out on this map whilst we are kind of early on in the game. So Wolfhetzer actually has 2 munitions points on the left-hand side and 2 fuel points on the right-hand side, which I found was kind of really... I thought, oh, that's not going to work when I first saw this, but actually having played the map a few times, it's actually close enough to each other's base that it does kind of work. And of course, there's a huge reward, if you really push deep into enemy territory here, to get double of that resource that you choose to play on. So a really interesting map is Wolfhetzer.
Yeah, it's really hard to pull that off because there's always an aversion to having the resource points set up like this. But from just looking at it, it seems like you can really punish any team for trying to double the fuel because of all the covering the crossing path, and just able to just do things and cut people off. You'll see the layout of the actual sector points are good for that.
Loving the engineers in this building with the flamethrower. It's not quite close enough to get these units hiding behind the train carriages.
Creative Name is going triple maximum. I just noticed that, and he's already locked in hard rifle combined. KV1 definitely a strong tank. Really good at dealing with Panzer IVs, especially. He's got access to the howitzer and the beloved IL-2 strafe. I'm assuming we've been seeing a lot of skill planes in this tournament, given how 2v2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, actually, commonly is Overwatch from OKW has been used quite a bit, especially today. Devin was using that at the start of his games. And yeah, we've seen some of the IL-2. To be honest, there's been more of a variety than I think I normally see. Grenadiers, they're just surviving some last shots from the Tommies as they make their way up to the territories right outside of Nagano and Scotch's base. It's a pretty aggressive push.
Really good push, yeah. Trying to get that maximum set up. Looks like Creative Name, if you notice, he's on the point. He's been attack moving a little too far and setting it up. And see, look, now he has to retreat, and he's taking too much extra damage he didn't intend to. And now instead of being able to hold the cutoff there with a machine gun and 2 Tommies, he had to retreat it. So one thing a lot of people should be conscious of is your attack moves with machine guns. Because once you lose sight of that squad, they're just running out into the dark. Especially when no one's spotting for them. So just a little mistake there if you guys caught on to that.
Would you mind either being closer to the mic, or I don't know if there's a way you could turn it up without me going out?
Let me see if I can turn it up, because I'm literally like 7 years old. It's probably, you know, I haven't casted like I've said in a while, so it's just the setup is always iffy. But I turned it up about 20% here. It should be a bit better.
Yeah, I think that's good. Cool. All right. Well, back on with this, and we can just see Nagano and Scotch, who are just trying to get their foothold again now. It may look like a pretty bad start, but this is absolutely nothing. We're only 6 minutes into game 1, and Nagano and Scotch are kind of masters of getting out of tricky situations, the Houdinis of KO2. And actually, just earlier in their semi-finals game against Brosras and Artovic, they were suffering a lot of bad map control for a significant period of their game. They still managed to make very, very good pushes back. So even when you seem like you're in a good place, you really have to be careful about Nagano and Scotch flanking. They just seem to find every little gap that is possible to find.
AEC is about to find the 222 here. Oh, that's a cool camo on the AEC. Nice little poke there, but ran into a Panzerfaust. Got plenty of support to back up with. Nothing much to... No Raketten for Nagano, although he does have a Luke's building. But yeah, that to the point you were making with this game, especially in 2v2s, given the massive units you have, it's all about creating opportunities and being able to work together through communication, the right unit structure, to be able to take advantage of the opportunities presented to you. And Nagano and Scotch are the most consistent at it, based on their history. But Creative Name and Seeking are super solid team. So I really wanted to see how they play the team.
Yeah, they're certainly showing it at the moment. Universal Carrier and AEC doing a really good job in the center, and Creative Name is just getting his T70 out. So I'd say this is really good timing for these units.
Absolutely.
Nagano is just getting a Luke's on the field, and it's pretty much countered by the AEC and the T70 right from the start. There is, of course, the scout car for Scotch, who has picked Jaeger armor. So the scout car has to do a lot of work now. I feel like this is the time when you get the scout car to its Vet 2 for the additional sight range, and then you kind of hold it for that late game.
Look at these Sturm piles. Horrendous retreat. Came out a little bit too late and just got farmed by T70 there. Here comes a Panzer II trying to help out, but as you said, you know, it's already countered. There's really not much it can do here besides little paint scraping on the T70.
That's a really nice entrance then for the T70. 4 infantry kills the entire squad by the looks of it.
Should be a mortar forced off as well. Scotch being a little bit, there we go, he fully retreated. He's being a little bit ambitious there, trying to soft retreat it. Pack 40 is taking its first shot on the T70, so it's going to pull that advance a little bit back there. T70 got a little worried there with the pathing, but Panzer II doing what it does best and counter-harassing the flanks.
So nice Creative Name on the right-hand side right now. He's not supported, but he's managed to decap the Axis fuel on that side. And of course, being able to stunt fuel for the Axis is huge. Pioneers with the Flammenwerfer upgrade, just managing to get away from the maximum center.
Yeah, with that Jaeger armor you mentioned, just looking at this map, Elephant is brutal. It's all nice and open.
I mean, I guess it might be easily flankable, you know, by the same fact that it's so open. It's not like Rails and Metal where it's got kind of a narrow map, but it is going to be effective nonetheless, especially if we do see that scout car get Vet 2, which is already Vet 1. I just want to point out mortar pit coming from Seeking Guy in the center. And it's only really going to cover 1 VP, I think, by the looks of it.
Yeah. Well, if Overwatch is super popular, which, you know, makes sense, they all have access to a howitzer to counter the mortar by default. You know, it's one of those things where the Doctrine is so good at countering these strats that it's like a no-brainer. Nice push by the Volks here. Flank on the Maxim. Gonna force him back. A little bit late on the retreat here for Creative Name. He's still... Okay. Oh, is he gonna get the loop? Just barely. He's lucky he had that house there to wrap around. The machine gun death loop is really frustrating, but just shows how mindful you have to be of how quickly you retreat.
Absolutely. And,
got some
it's definitely
guards
been
pushing up in the center.
it's definitely been a positive start of the game for Allies. Trying to keep this up, I think, is going to be difficult. One of the key things, though, is that they are doing really well on the VPs. They're constantly pushing for a triple cap, and they've just taken Axis down to 300 points there in 11 minutes of gameplay, which is a really, really good VP lead at the start of the game.
You definitely want to take Axis down on VPs as early as possible because they are known for their strong. So the lower you can get them, the more pressure you put on them, that time constraint, the more opportunity you'll have to survive in the late game. With that VP drain, some people get a bit unnerved and they commit a little bit more than they should, and that's where the wipes come into play. Good push here by Seeking. No MG to cover these Tommies pushing up. Got that pack down to half. T70 also giving a little bit of a tap here. Runs into a Raketten. And a pack 40. Valentine out for Seeking. Just called that in and committed to Royal Artillery.
In that building there, so it's just getting set up, but not much was happening. So two Maxims which are just trying to pin all of the infantry coming, and a good evacuation from the building in case the incendiary grenade came in. But T70, whilst getting repairs, still a very, very good unit. About to take a shot from Raketten, I think. To be. There's really Maxims all over the place. And have a look at Creative Name, 3 Maxims on the field.
There's, yeah, with the 3 Maxims, we have Nagano committing to Overwatch. Just about 1.5 CPs away if he wants to commit to the LEFH, but their fuel income's been a little bit slow with that, thanks to that good aggression from the Allies. Down to 240 VPs, about to be secured on another triple cap once these Grenadiers retreat. Don't see how they win that engagement. The mortar pit just raining hell on them. Oh, is this barrage coming down? Scotch needs to be careful here.
They've got to get that kill, surely. Grenadier squad goes down.
By Tommies that weren't even in cover. That's got to be a little bit salt-inducing, especially with LMGs. There's a Stuka Zufus out for Nagano. Gonna start hammering at this center location, this fortification that they have.
Yeah, good choice actually against 3 Maxims, which, you know, if they hit the retreat button, they're not really going to get the time to pack away and evade that. So as long as the shells are good, then...
Oh, MG42 down for Scotch. Fortunately, it's not too forward where it's super at risk of being capped by the Allies. Looks like a Volk's going to go pick it up. T70 almost goes down in that trade, but that's not any manpower lost there to Creative Name. Just a little bit of downtime for repair. Pioneers almost go down on the left side. Oh, the MG42 is about to get deep again. Can't catch a break there. Okay, he did. Casus Curse. Valentine
a lot of AT from Axis, by the way. They're using the scout car now that it's got veterancy 2. You can see the huge sight range that unit now gives, and they're using the AT guns to just try and get the Valentine down. This is great smoke from the Valentine there to defend the Tommy squad as it comes past. Beautiful play, and here's the Stuka.
Nice dodge. Nice dodge. I'm surprised that he didn't include the mortar pit in his trajectory there. Because with a miss on the infantry, at least you can clip the mortar pit a little damage. Get some XP on the Stuka. But we saw a good opportunity to potentially knock out 2 squads. This mortar pit is just doing so much work. It's already almost vet 3. 200 VPs for the Axis.
Yeah, the
And
VP
having a
drain
lot of
has
trouble
been,
dealing with the Axis.
VP drain has been quite significant in this game. And I should just point out, just at least mention, because it will be confusing for some people maybe watching this as a VOD later, but this was originally meant to be a best of 5 series, and due to the timing of the event today, organizers asked the players if they were okay with a best of 3, which they've agreed to, so this is a best of 3, and there are going to be less chances to make mistakes. So winning this game is going to be really important for Seeking Guy and Creative Name.
Yeah, it's not unheard of. I remember there was another tournament that had the same situation. The last minute change. One way or the other, I can't remember, but just something to always consider that Company Heroes is a widely played game, and there's a lot of different time zones to manage.
There's a demo charge on the building on the right-hand side there. I don't know if Nagano actually fell foul to that. It looks like he didn't. But he has lost. No, I don't know that he did actually, but...
Valentine was utilizing his observation, but they're giving into the mortar pits, which also make them accurate if their targets can be spotted. So just super solid play. Artillery flares down. Tommy almost goes down from a rifle nade, but stayed long enough to defend that cap point and bring the Axis down under 200. Oh, he did lose the Tommies.
Oh, he did?
That was the mortar. Yeah, it was through the mortar, I think.
Oh, no. That's unfortunate, because it looked like he got away with that. See Seeking Guy just kind of preparing. I think he's ready for Nagano and Scotch to actually just start rushing them, because he's building mines like quite far back in his own territory. Maybe just predicting those light vehicles are going to get really effective. When you look at Seeking Guy's army at the moment, you realize it is quite small, very fragile.
Another Stuka barrage coming down.
Oh,
look at the health of that house!
Maxim. Wow.
Wow. He scummed him right there. That would be so salty. Because that dying in the house, you can't get that crew back.
It was a really good idea, and
as Paul would call it, lucker right there.
Well, Momo, I have to say there's a hell of a lot going on at the moment. This is devilishly hard to actually try and keep up with everything on the camera, but I think we're just about managing it, and it looks like Nagano and
Scotch... It's about to run into 2 Rakettenwerfers. Volks aren't close enough to take advantage and bounce it, but good side armor hits there. There is no side armor, but there's a chance to hit the rear armor there based on the angle. For you stat nerds. Guards here to support, pushing the Rakettenwerfers back a little bit. This fresh friends just forced off here. Got some JLI finally, and Vet 1 now. Luke's is almost going down, he's not paying attention. He's gonna eat another Zisbraj. Is it gonna hit? Oh, he utilized the whole fire there and went dark.
Not quite.
Solid use of abilities there. Reopens up. Stuka's getting ready to shoot another barrage, about 10 seconds left. Let's see. Okay, we have a perimeter overwatch coming in.
Yeah, this is actually a really good time to be aggressive, because they can be aggressive now. They've also got the IL-2 creative names, got that to use. And then, of course, they can kind of roll back and reinforce whilst the perimeter overwatch is helping to cover things. Look at the power of that, though. Perimeter overwatch hitting the Vet 2 scout car, and they've got to keep this unit alive. I can only assume that Scotch is going for the elephant, but it goes down, and that's a big unit to lose for this game.
Losing a scout car with spotting scope when you're trying to wait for an elephant is brutal. Oh, completely destroyed that MG42 on the right with the KB1. The gun was not repaired, so the machine gun was totally destroyed. This mortar pit is just horrible. It's not even stopped firing this entire time it's been up. Those guys are exhausted by now. 100 VPs. 20 minutes. They need to make something happen here, or else they're going to be giving away the first game.
It's been a very, very strong first game from Creative Name.
Looks like we might lose the T70 here. Yep. A little bit greedy there. Was going for IL-2 drop, but doesn't have his T70 to take advantage of the suppression and the damage any longer.
I just caught the planes taking an artillery shell again, Momo.
Oh, like the railway we had? Like,
yeah, I just saw them.
Like,
yeah, I just survived another shot. I have a real knack for that, you know. I just.
Yeah, you're real good at that. You got the timing down.
Well, we caught playing collision there as well, but not going to happen. But
really
I mean, this is just brutal. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Axis can do.
There's blood in the water, 100 VPs left. They just clicked and used all their munitions and just pushed up to apply as much pressure as possible. So the Axis have very little time to decap VPs. And based on this, it's like they have no time. Both his Ricken's about to go down. Oh, that's, yep. That's
wow. You really don't see this every day. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen a surrender from Gold Path 2. That's, well, GG.
Minutes.
Game 1, Creative Name and Seeking.